beautiful life.
สวัสดีครับ Good afternoon and welcome to A Beautiful Life on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. My name is อาจารย์เกษมพุทธเรืองศรี your host for the program. A Beautiful Life is a program broadcasted every Monday from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Articles and information about life lessons or good phrases from the books or websites will be presented in this program together with the latest news from Rajamongkol University of Technology Pranakon for you to enjoy. So today we start with the article from Channel News Asia. In the commentary part, they said it's more than a problem if coffee shop toilets in Singapore are dirty. One would think that the pandemic would have taught us a lesson or two about hygiene, but as far as toilet cleanliness is concerned, we seem to have learned little, say Singapore Kindness Movement's Dr. William Wan. Dr. William Wan wrote this commentary report and reported from Singapore. He said Singapore often play hosts to high-profile conferences and prominent events like the Formula One Grand Prix in September. It is consistently voted as a top meetings, incentive travel, conventions and exhibitions or MICE destination. On an international cruise last month, Dr. William Wan listened to guest speaker and retired Canadian diplomat Terry Greenberg give a glowing picture of Singapore as an extremely clean and green nation as the vessel prepared it to arrive in Singapore. Dr. William Wan couldn't help but wonder if he would be as enthusiastic if he had used one of Singapore public toilets at a hawker center or coffee shop. A study by the Singapore Movement University last month indicates that overall public perception of these toilets is that they are much dirtier than they should be and no different from they were in 2020 despite heightened hygiene awareness prompted by the COVID-19 pandemic. It is interesting to note that 91.31% of customers rated them as dirty and needing a major overhauling. Employees at those locations seem to have a slightly more tempered perspective, with 70% rating the toilet as dirty and needing only a moderate degree of improvement. This raises a concern that workers may have a lower expectation of cleanliness. The employee, perhaps familiar with the facilities at their working premise, exhibited a higher inclination to utilize them compared to customer. 89.13% for workers compared with just 38.61% for patrons. What does it say if our worker and coffee shop toilets are so dirty that customers avoid using them? If the place Singaporeans gather, eat, and socialize have unclean facilities, and Singaporeans inevitably jeopardizing their well-being. So the topic is not for lack of effort. The public toilets remain unclean is not due to lack of promotional efforts. The Public Hygiene Council or PHC, Restroom Association Singapore or RAS, and Singapore Kindness Movement or SKM have strived to encourage good practices in keeping public toilets clean. In 2021, Restroom Association Singapore or RAS introduced a 3-year Let's Observe Ourselves or LOO campaign at hawker centers, which aims to educate premises operators on good toilet standards and maintenance practices. It conducts toilet assessment and provides suggestions to rectify rats as well as trains cleaners on proper cleaning procedures to maintain good toilet hygiene in participating hawker center. In 2022, Public Hygiene Council or PHC launches the Neighborhood Toilet Community Group or NTCG initiative to encourage partnership between operators and the community and reinforce the nation of joint responsibility in keeping public toilets clean. Singapore Kindness Movement or SKM has been promoting public toilet cleanliness in hospitals with eye-catching posters, interviews and cleaners and appealing videos. From next year, primary school students will be roped in to clean their school toilets under a pilot program by the Public Hygiene Council or PHC. That there is renewed interest in this matter is a good sign. So Singaporeans do want toilets to be clean for everybody's sake and not least of all because it is a public health issue. Singapore cleaners have encountered people who do not flush after defecating, those who wash their feet with bidets, and users who leave faces around the toilet bowl. One would think that the pandemic would have taught us a lesson or two on hygiene, but as far as toilet cleanliness is concerned, Singaporeans said we seem to have learned little. Leadership and enforcement. It has been 40 years since the first Keep Public Toilets Clean or KPTC campaign in 1983. So what's holding back the progress? Singaporeans have succeeded in dealing with spitting in public that was prevalent during Dr. William Wan's youth in the 50s and 60s. Singaporeans have succeeded in dealing with irresponsible disposal of chewing gum and more recently, and Singaporeans have moved the needle for people returning trades at hawker center, coffee shops, and food courts to more than 90% since rules were imposed on dinner to clear their tables. What contributed to the success of those efforts? First, leadership. Singapore founder Prime Minister Mr. Lee Kuan Yew was originally for his Genchi Genbutsu, a Japanese concept meaning go and see. He walked the ground and observed the situation to understand the condition that enabled him to find a solution, and he was decisive in enforcement. If public toilets are unclean because of the neglect of the operators and owner or misused by staff, it is worth looking at whether these stakeholders should be held responsible and decisive actions should be taken. There must be a collective will to hold business leaders to a higher standards of public hygiene because it is a public health issue that cannot be compromised. Singaporeans know where the clean public toilets are at the airport, hotels, shopping malls, and iconic tourist attractions like Gardens by the Bay and Botanic Gardens in Singapore. The attention to detail by the boss matters. The late Mr. Lee once asked for weekly reports on the state of cleanliness of the toilets at the airport. This prompted then Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore Director General Wong Bun Liang to ask his staff for a daily report, which in turn led the Director of Operations to ask for an hourly report. Why should leaders in the coffee shop industry be exempt from such responsibilities? In fact, trended food would affect consumers and the consequence could be dire for the nation. Second, enforcement. Trade return is the latest example that enforcement works, but Singapore already has penalties for not flushing the toilet. Only they don't seem to be working. Some might argue that it's not because enforcement does not work, but because the way it was enforced did not work. More, it may be worth considering if there are takeaway from the driver improvement point system or DIPs implemented by the traffic police. The river improvement point system or DIP is a demerit point regime designed to identify the rehabilitate errant driver through a system of reward and punishment. Since every hawker center and coffee shop is owned or operated by someone, is it feasible then for them to be held responsible for the cleanliness of their toilet? It should be easy enough to curate a checklist to include all the elements of clean toilet and give demerit points for not fulfilling the requirements. Written warning and fines may be imposed accordingly, and suspension of operation may be necessary for a day or more until they satisfy the legal requirements for cleanliness. With decisive leadership, Singaporeans have been able to overcome other cleanliness problems. Dr. William Wan believes hawker center and coffee shop entrepreneurs can be enterprising and find ways to ensure that their toilets are clean. It is time to give them that responsibility and support them to do it right. On the long run, it is cheaper than ending up in worst case scenario, a pandemic of food poisoning. Dr. William Wan is chairperson of the Community Advisory Panel on Neighborhood Noise and a senior consultant with the Singapore Kindness Movement. So you can read more from Channel News Asia in commentary part, and we'll be right back after a short break.
Beautiful life.
You are listening to A Beautiful Life on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. We are back to the news. First, from Rajamongkol University of Technology, Paranakon, organized a music brand competition mini concert RMUTP Music Contest 2023, The Power of Unlimited Music Creation. Rajamongkol University of Technology, Paranakon organized the RMUTP Music Contest 2023 band competition activity, Limitless Music Creation Power by Assistant Professor Dr. Amnat Iem Samang, Assistant Rector for Sports and Alumni Relations, preside over the opening ceremony of the competition activities, and awards were given to contestants at the D Hall Auditorium, Tewes Center on December 1st, 2023, organized by the Student Development Division. The objective is to develop creativity and promote musical expression for students and promote the use of free time beneficially. These are the competition results. The student band that won first place was the field frame band from the Faculty of Mass Communication Technology, received a prize money of 5,000 baht along with the trophy and certificate. First runner-up award goes to the band Zigzag from the Faculty of Business Administration, receive a prize of 3,000 baht along with a trophy and certificate. The second run-up award goes to the band ข้าวหน้าเป็ด or Duck on Rice from the Faculty of Engineering, receiving a prize of 2,000 baht along with a trophy and certificate. And the honorable mention goes to the Peace of Mind band from the Faculty of Industrial Education, receive a prize of 1,000 baht and a certificate. Next, ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร assessing the quality of internal education at the vocational certificate level for the year 2022. Dr. คมเขต เพชรรัตน์ Assistant to Director for Human Resources Management ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร preside over the opening internal education quality assessment vocational certificate level of ปวช for the academic year 2022 at the เฟืองเพชร Meeting Room Faculty of Engineering ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร North Bangkok Center. There is a quality assessment committee of 3 people consists of Associate Professor Dr. กาญจนาบุญพัก from King Mongkut Institute of Technology ลาดกระบัง Assistant Professor แก้วตาขาวเหลือง Quality Assurance Consultant and Assistant Professor พิเชษฐ์จิรประเสริฐวงศ์ Former Assistant Rector for Quality Assurance ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร Dr. คมเขต เพชรรัตน์ said that according to the Ministry of Education Quality Assurance Regulations 2018, each educational institution is required to establish an educational quality assurance system within educational institutions. This requires a quality assessment every academic year to reflect the performance of educational institution in accordance with vocational education standards. The university places importance on educational quality assurance in order to use the results of the quality assessment to develop the educational management process to meet quality standards. In the academic year 2022, there is teaching and learning at the vocational certificate level of ปวช within 2 faculties at ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร Those are the Faculty of Engineering and the Faculty of Business Administration. There are a total of 7 fields of study, with the university operating according to vocational educational standards, which has self-assessment results or SAR overall for all 3 standards. At the excellent quality level, accounting for 86.12%, said Dr. คมเขต เพชรรัตน์ Next, ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร continue the important day, organize a National Father's Day activity on December the 1st, 2023. Assistant Professor Dr. กสิเดช สุทธิวานิช Vice President for University Council Affairs Administration, sharing the project to continue traditions and important dates. Activity number 2, National Father's Day activity on the 5th of December 2023 at the Prom Mongkol Building Hall area and the lawn area of หมอพร House ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร พาณิชยการพระนคร it would have administrators ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร Alumni Association faculty staff and students joining in these activities in the morning starting with the Buddhist ceremony Assistant Professor Dr. Kasidet Suthiwanit lit incense sticks and candles to worship the พระรัตนตรัย and a small piece of gold jewelry เครื่องทองน้อย in front of the royal portrait. Then the official arc for percept อาราธนาศีล monk give perceive or ให้ศีล and chant Buddhist mantras or สวดพระพุทธมนต์ followed by offering the จตุปัจจัยทายธรรม by donating 10 ผ้าไตร to 10 monks from Naranath Suntarikaram temple followed by offering rice and dry fruit to monks. Ceremony of laying a wreath of flowers to pay homage to the king remembrance of his majesty the king Bhumibol Adulyadej Great มหาอดุลยเดช the Great บรมนาถบพิตร followed by a video performance of king's auspicious song. This year there would also be a music performance activities from song composed in the cold wind or เพลงพระราชนิพนธ์ในสายลมหนาว There was also a musical performance in honor of His Majesty King ภูมิพลอดุลยเดชมหาอดุลยเดช the Great บรมนาถบพิตร by ฉลองสังคีต Band and เกษม and พนิชเกษม Jazz Band as well. Next, ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร announced the policy of not accepting all kinds of gifts and presents. On December 6, 2023, Dr. นัทวรพล รัตน์สิริวัชรบุญ President of ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร announced the policy of not accepting gifts and all kinds of gifts from performing duties no gift policy to executive personnel and the public in order to strengthen the culture and honest values in teaching and learning acting efficiently in morality and ethics without conflicts of interest from performing duties and prevention of corruption. The policy has been established for academic and support personnel of ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร refrain from accepting all kinds of gifts and presents from performing duties and from outside personnel who contact congratulation section and expressing condolence on various traditional occasions. This should be expressed by signing a greeting card, condolence card, or social media instead of giving things at Rapi Pat Meeting Room, Office of the President ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร เทเวศ Center. And the time is up for today, A Beautiful Life. Please join us on every Monday here on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. Your host has been อาจารย์เกษม พุทธเรืองศรี You're welcome to subscribe to our channel on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. Thank you very much for joining our program today and see you again next Monday. สวัสดีครับ
Beautiful Life will be back again next Monday.